In the iconic year of 1993, when flannel shirts and grunge music reigned supreme, Jurassic Park stomped its way into theaters, creating a dino-sized frenzy. With CGI that was revolutionary for its time, the film transported audiences to a theme park where billionaires had the genius idea to bring back dinosaurs from extinction. Because, what could possibly go wrong when you mix tourists with creatures from the Mesozoic era? Spoiler alert: chaos, mayhem, and a T-Rex-sized mess. Our adventure begins with a motley crew of scientists, a couple of kids who probably should have stayed home, and a smug billionaire, played by the incomparable Jeff Goldblum, complete with his signature chest-bearing shirt. They embark on a tour of the park, marveling at genetically engineered wonders like the T-Rex and raptors. But as any horror movie aficionado will tell you, when a storm knocks out the power to a dinosaur park, things are about to get prehistorically hairy. Cue the running, screaming, and more running as our intrepid heroes try to outsmart nature's greatest predators. Fast forward over 30 years, and Jurassic Park remains a beloved classic, despite the fact that the special effects now look about as realistic as a cardboard cutout of a velociraptor. But fear not, fellow dino enthusiasts, because I'm here to unleash 10 amazing fun facts about this cinematic gem. So grab your popcorn and prepare to be dazzled by trivia that's almost as jaw-dropping as watching a T-Rex devour a lawyer hiding in an outhouse. As if being the reigning champ of the box office in 1993 wasn't enough, Jurassic Park also strutted its stuff at the Oscars, snagging an impressive trio of nominations for Best Sound, Best Sound Effects Editing, and Best Visual Effects. With its dino-sized roars and earth-shaking stomps, the film roared its way to victory, clinching all 3 golden statues with the finesse of a velociraptor pouncing on its prey. Yet, despite its triumphant sweep in the technical categories, Jurassic Park narrowly missed out on the coveted Best Picture accolade. But fear not, dear Spielberg fans, for the maestro himself had reason to celebrate, as his other cinematic masterpiece, Schindler's List, swooped in to claim the title, securing both Best Picture and Best Director honors for the visionary filmmaker. And so, amidst the roar of dinosaurs and the somber echoes of history, Spielberg emerged victorious, proving once again that, when it comes to cinematic prowess, he's the true king of the jungle. Before Sam Neill took on the iconic role of Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park, the part went through a Hollywood carousel of considerations. Both Harrison Ford and William Hurt were eyed for the role, but alas, they passed on the chance to tiptoe through a park filled with genetically engineered dinosaurs. Then, just as the casting chaos seemed to peak, Sam Neill swooped in to win over Spielberg with his charm and rugged demeanor. However, even the esteemed Neill admitted to feeling a tad out of his element, questioning why he, a self-proclaimed ordinary guy, was chosen to fend off prehistoric predators. With a dash of self-deprecating humor, Neill quipped about being far from the typical action hero, pondering if perhaps the casting had come a decade or so too late for his prime. Amidst the hustle and bustle of scene rehearsals, Jeff Goldblum, the suave and eccentric Ian Malcolm, brought his own unique flair to the table. With an air of theatricality that could rival even the most flamboyant of Broadway performers, Goldblum made sure his presence was known by enthusiastically vocalizing his lines for all to hear. Ariana Richards, who portrayed Lex Murphy, fondly reminisced about Goldblum's unconventional approach to script study sessions. Rather than quietly pondering his lines like a typical actor, Goldblum opted for a more, let's say, vocal strategy, engaging in what can only be described as a speed-reading extravaganza. As Richards recalled, his booming voice filled the room, turning what could have been a mundane rehearsal into a full-blown Goldblumian spectacle. In the tumultuous world of on-screen romance, Laura Dern's Dr. Ellie Sattler and Sam Neill's Dr. Alan Grant found themselves entangled in a love story that left some audience members scratching their heads. Despite Dern being a sprightly 23-year-old and Neill boasting a seniority of 20 years her senior, the film's conclusion saw their characters locking lips, much to the surprise of many. However, Dern, ever the romantic, defended their on-screen chemistry, deeming it completely appropriate for the characters to find love amidst the chaos of dinosaur-induced pandemonium. Neill, on the other hand, remained blissfully unaware of the age disparity, admitting that the thought had never crossed his mind until confronted with the revelation in a magazine article dubbing him and his fellow leading men as old geezers. In his typical charming manner, Neill brushed off the age gap, quipping about the long-standing Hollywood tradition of pairing seasoned actors with younger counterparts, wondering aloud if he was truly deserving of such a distinguished title. In the wilds of Hawaii's Kauai Island during the filming of Jurassic Park in 1992, the production faced an unexpected guest. Hurricane Iniki, hailed as the most ferocious hurricane to ever grace the region. Amidst the chaos and destruction, one cast member stood unfazed by Mother Nature's tantrum. Richard Attenborough, portraying the eccentric InGen CEO John Hammond, managed to slumber through the tempest, much to the amazement of his fellow actors. When questioned about his seemingly superhuman ability to snooze through a hurricane, Attenborough, with a twinkle in his eye, simply attributed it to his past experiences surviving the London Blitz during World War II. In his classic British stoicism, he nonchalantly replied, "My dear boy, I survived the Blitz." A response that left his castmates in awe and admiration, while possibly reconsidering their own storm preparedness strategies. When it came to bringing dinosaurs to life on the silver screen, Steven Spielberg spared no expense in his quest for authenticity. Hiring paleontologist Jack Horner as a consultant, Spielberg aimed to ensure that every movement and characteristic of the prehistoric creatures was as accurate as possible. However, even with Horner's expertise at his disposal, Spielberg couldn't resist sprinkling in a dash of creative flair. One notable instance of Spielberg's artistic license was his decision to give the Tyrannosaurus Rex a dental makeover. Upon receiving a photo of a T-Rex tooth, which happened to resemble a banana, Spielberg opted to sharpen the dinosaur's chompers to ramp up its intimidation factor. Because let's face it, nothing strikes fear into the hearts of moviegoers quite like a well-manicured set of prehistoric pearly whites. When tasked with giving voice to the silent giants of Jurassic Park, sound designer Gary Rydstrom found himself in a roaringly fun predicament. With no audio recordings of dinosaurs to guide him, Rydstrom had free rein to let his creative juices flow. Employing a menagerie of animal vocalizations, Rydstrom crafted distinctive roars for each dino, drawing inspiration from unexpected sources. From the swan hisses that lent a touch of elegance to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, to the trumpeting of a baby elephant that brought the mighty Brachiosaurus to life, Rydstrom spared no creature in his quest for auditory authenticity. Even the smaller inhabitants of the park, like the Gallimimus, received their own unique sound profiles, with Rydstrom ingeniously capturing the excitement of a female horse in the presence of a male for their characteristic squeaks. And who could forget the velociraptor's menacing bark, sourced from the amorous cries of two tortoises engaged in a particularly passionate moment. With Rydstrom at the helm, the dinosaurs of Jurassic Park roared to life in a cacophony of creativity that left audiences both awe-inspired and amused. The early 90s, a time when CGI was about as sophisticated as a caveman's club, and visual effects were more special than effects. Yet, in a stroke of Spielbergian genius, the director decided to fling caution to the wind and push the boundaries of technology like a T-Rex, testing a fence. Determined to breathe life into his prehistoric protagonists, Spielberg opted to meld animatronics with cutting-edge CGI, creating a dino menagerie that felt more alive than a brontosaurus at feeding time. Jurassic Park thus became the pioneer of CGI in cinema, forging a path that countless filmmakers would tread in its wake. With each roar of a raptor and every tremor of a T-Rex footfall, Spielberg etched his place in cinematic history, proving that sometimes a little technological tinkering is all it takes to bring dinosaurs back from extinction. Despite Steven Spielberg's impressive feat of finishing filming Jurassic Park a whopping 12 days ahead of schedule, the tireless director found himself with little time to bask in his accomplishment. With barely a moment to catch his breath, Spielberg had to dash off to tackle his next cinematic endeavor, Schindler's List, leaving the fate of Jurassic Park hanging in the balance during post-production. But fear not, for in Spielberg's absence, a knight in shining armor emerged in the form of his longtime friend and Indiana Jones collaborator, George Lucas. With a wave of his lightsaber, or more likely, a wave of his directorial wand, Lucas stepped in to steer the ship through the choppy waters of post-production, ensuring that Jurassic Park would roar into theaters with all the cinematic splendor audiences had come to expect from Spielbergian magic. And as a token of gratitude for his invaluable assistance, the iconic Star Wars creator received a humble yet well-deserved special thanks in the film's credits, cementing his place in the annals of dinosaur-sized cinematic triumphs. Before Michael Crichton's novel Jurassic Park hit the shelves, director Steven Spielberg was already eyeing it for cinematic greatness. Recognizing its potential for thrilling spectacle, he pleaded with Universal Studios to secure the rights. However, there was a catch. Spielberg had to commit to making Jurassic Park before tackling his passion project, Schindler's List. Reluctantly, Spielberg agreed to prioritize the Dinomania over the historical drama, setting the stage for one of cinema's most iconic adventures. And there you have it, folks. 10 tantalizing tidbits that even the most dedicated Jurassic Park aficionados might not have known. From hurricanes to Hollywood legends, from roaring dinosaurs to Oscar glory, the journey behind the scenes of this iconic film is just as thrilling as the adventure on screen. So, the next time you find yourself re-watching Jurassic Park, remember these fun facts and imagine yourself in the midst of the chaos, surrounded by velociraptors and T-Rexes. Just be sure to keep a safe distance. If you enjoyed this dino-sized dose of Jurassic Park trivia, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating insights into your favorite films. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled for lurking dinosaurs and your popcorn bowl full, because in the world of Jurassic Park, the adventure never truly goes extinct.